Hello, how are you? How's everybody doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. Where beard go? Why say more words when less word do trick? Why why say more word when less words do trick? Great question. No, the beard's been gone for a week now. So uh the beard gone when? Sure, we're just doing little words there. Beard's been gone for a week now. Yeah, but it is that time to start growing it back out. I will say that much. So it's been gone for about a week, and now it's time to start going the other way now. It's time to start going the other way now. It was a fun run, you know? It was a fun run. Please bring it back and never do that again. Tell me how you really feel, Ryan. tell me how you really feel, bud. Oh my goodness. I just took it down for a week, guys. We'll all survive it, okay? We'll survive it. We can make it. All right. It's funny because I shaved and like I'm not a big fan of like I'm not a big huge fan of it, but it was funny seeing the reaction from everybody because uh and just being honest with you guys, okay? And I'm just calling a duck a duck. I'm just calling it how I see it, okay? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's how I see it, okay? But it seems like all the dudes, like all the men were like grow it back immediately and most of the girls were like I love it shaved. That's just my interpretation of the situation. Okay? That just seemed to be what was happening. All of the men were like like grow it back immediately. We're tired of seeing your face, and all the women were like shave it, keep it shaved forever. What if it doesn't come back? Well, if it doesn't come back, then I guess I never have to worry about anything again. Okay, I guess I don't have to worry about it at all because it just never comes back. It will come back though. Like it just does that. That's how hair works. Do I feel a breeze on my? Someone asked if I felt a breeze on my face. No joke. Like that's the first thing I noticed. The first time I like walked outside, I was like, "Why is it so cold?" Like that was like the first thing I noticed because I hadn't shaved in 4 years. It'd been 4 years. This is the first time I've shaved in 4 years. So yeah, that was my immediate freaking like immediate thing was like I walked outside. I was like, it is freezing on my face, and I do not like it. Yeah, I'm almost 40. Yeah, I barely look almost 40 with facial hair. You cut it off, like it's not even close. Somebody wants to know, like, what Ari thinks, and I will gladly let you know that. It's easy. She hates it. Yeah. She absolutely hates it. Not a fan. She says it's prickly. She doesn't like it. So, nope, it's time for it to go. What was funny was my daughter's reaction, and my daughter's reaction was by far the funniest to me, right? My daughter's reaction was by far the funniest to me. Because when I first shaved, when I first started growing out my hair like 4 years ago, my daughter immediately was like, "You look homeless. You need to shave that immediately. You look like a hobo. Take all that facial hair off your face immediately." And then I grew it out for like I had it out for like 4 years. And then I shaved it, and she immediately was like, "Put that facial hair back on your face immediately." Like, like she hated when I started growing it out 4 years ago, and she hates it way more now that I shaved it again. So, no pleasing her. No pleasing her. That's what I learned. No pleasing her. Okay? If I shave it, she's mad. If I don't shave it, she's mad. All right? So, you should grow a goatee only over my dead body. Okay? I know I'm almost 40, but I'm not fully going to look like an unk. Okay? How old is my daughter? My daughter is 15. Mutton chops, we could fuck with some mutton chops though. I won't say anything like negative about that. We could do that. What is going on over here? I don't know what's going on with my live right now. Hopefully I haven't screwed too many things up with it. But we'll see. You know what I've been addicted to watching? Like, no joke, online is just like videos of people in prison. It's so much fun for me. What is going on here? It's so much fun for me. It's like my favorite thing to do. I just like watching videos of people in prison. All right. Well, we're gonna let this thing fill up, and see if we can get some good conversations or something going on over here. Looks like we're having a rough time getting this thing started over here. So if y'all could do me a favor, come in, chat in the chat box, double tap the screen, do all of those fun things.
It's insane.
Help support the live, gift out, send the heart me's if you're over there. Send little gifts if you're on the other side. All those things help to boost the live and get the thing going. So I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Louise, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Said, "Hi, sir. What's your name?" Ha 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 ha. No one recognizes me because I don't have facial hair. Hardy, 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 har. Did I tell you guys when I shaved my phone, my Face ID stopped recognizing me? Did I tell you guys that? My Face ID on my phone wouldn't let me into my phone. Can you believe that shit? My phone wouldn't let me into my phone. I was like, what is it doing? I had to do like an alternate Face ID to show that it was me. Isn't that wild? It was like you're not the same person. You're not the same person. Which I found hilarious, to be completely honest with you. Oh, my goodness. My hair looks all funny. Might just have to lose the hat. Let's see who this person is. Maybe we'll get a caller in here and we'll have some. Thank you so much, Luis. I really, really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Luis. Hello? Where'd you go? I had questions. Why do they always leave? Like I'm trying to ask them questions. That's what really annoys me. Just stay around and have a conversation. I'm not afraid of racists. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, what the funny part is that they usually like run away, and the reason why they run away is because they don't actually have the ability to say anything over that, outside of that. Like they just like that's the literal extent of all of their brain cells, like fighting as hard as they can to say something. So it's like you think you're saying something on me, but you're really just saying, "Look how dumb I am." Which I guess, I mean, if that's your thing, just being stupid, I guess. But standard Trump supporter for you. Standard Trump supporter for you. Kramer, thank you so much for the 6-7. I really appreciate that. And Chase, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. I also appreciate that. Yeah, just that's your standard Trump supporters in my book. It don't bother me. Guys, I talk to racists every day. You think you scare me? I talk to racists every day. You think you scare me? You don't.
Hello.
What? Hello?
This is Julian.
Yeah, literally, I don't. Just no time for that today. Hello?
How you doing?
I'm great. How old are you?
33.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Why's that?
He's our president.
So what?
America is as strong as we've been in a long time, sir.
We're as strong as we've been in a long time? Yeah, that would mean we're equally as strong.
We are stronger as we ever been in a long time.
We're as stronger as we've ever been. That's not a correct English sentence.
Yeah, okay, but you understand. Right?
No, I don't speak whatever you're speaking.
I get it. You see how you could turn a conversation into nonsense?
This isn't a conversation. You're just speaking nonsense.
Okay. So what? Are we having a conversation or no?
I don't know. Are you going to speak English?
Thank God Trump won. America won. Because we got crybabies like you that probably like men on here just giving out misinformation and having girl emotions.
That probably like men?
Man. Yeah.
You mean like the Trump anthem?
I'm pretty sure you like men.
You ever heard the Trump anthem?
Not
yeah.
binary.
I ain't gay, but I do gay stuff. Like dudes in the back of my truck.
Saying, I thank God Trump won. This is what I voted for.
Don't mean I'm queer. I just I'm sure you have that song on your phone. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways.
No, I don't.
What's a girl emotion?
You know what?
No, I'm really curious. What is a girl emotion?
Sissy vibes.
No, that's a vibe. What's a girl emotion?
You got sissy vibes, like a single mama.
Okay. So you're not going to answer the question?
No, I just did.
No, that's like not. None of what you said. None of what you said is.
Look with the hands. You see the hands? Put your hands down. You're a grown man.
Okay. At this point, it just feels like you're hitting on
me.
I know. Yeah, I know it does. Okay.
God
At this
bless
point, it feels
America,
like it feels like you're just hitting on me. So, sir, if you're going to try to hit on me, like do it like a man. Stop being a little bitch about it.
You love America? Yes or no?
Okay. Stop being a little bitch about it. Just hit on me.
Because if you don't love America, why won't you just leave?
I do love my country very much.
So why do you go against everything America stands for?
And what does America stand for, sir?
Respect, power, moral.
Respect and power. All right. So let's talk about Donald Trump and let's see how he exemplifies respect, shall we?
Are we the most respected nation in the world, would you say?
No, absolutely not. We're not even top. We're not even top 10.
Who afraid of us?
No, you're saying afraid. Afraid and respected are two different things.
You think so?
You can be afraid of someone and not respect them.
When it comes to country, what do you think power is?
What I think, there's lots of different type of power. There's hard power, there's soft power, there's diplomatic power, there's financial power. There's lots of different types of power.
Which power would you rather have?
Preferably soft power.
I see. Nothing but sissies on the island, huh?
Sir, can you tell me what soft power is?
I'm just saying.
Sir,
I'd rather
what's
have
soft power?
Like I said,
Sir,
sir.
no. Hey, here's how this is gonna work.
That
'cause this
don't
is
work with me.
kind of set. Oh no,
I'm not
nothing's
gonna
gonna work with
argue
you.
with you.
I'll just hang up. It's not a big deal. I
You
just
could do
asked a
that.
question. Do you know what soft power is? Either
You
answer
tell
the
me.
question.
You tell me. No.
I can't tell you
me.
whether or not you know something.
If
sir.
if I don't know, you should educate a person.
But
I don't know.
you haven't told me that you don't know
I don't
yet,
know.
sir. You don't know?
I don't know.
So
You tell me.
soft power is every other type of power the United States has at its tool belt that's not military power.
Oh, okay.
So
I get it.
if we get like Donald Trump likes to use tariffs, right? Tariffs are soft power. Yeah. So that's why I prefer soft power over military power, because I think it helps us to be better as a country. I think it helps us to get more of what we want. It helps make America better.
Okay. And what did I learn from that?
I assume probably nothing.
You a smart guy now.
Yeah. But sir, if you learned anything up until this part of life, we wouldn't be having this conversation, will we?
I mean, Trump won. I learned that when I voted.
You learned he won the day you voted? That's crazy.
Yeah, I knew he was. I knew
because the election results didn't
before.
come out for like a while after that.
Yeah, I know he was gonna win before he voted. Once y'all brought Cardi B that.
All right. We're going to move on to the next caller because that guy was not too bright. Y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Yeah, who's this?
You called me, sir. Oh, never mind. He's gone. Anyways, it was still a good excuse to get rid of that last guy. Y'all, if you guys still support Trump, go ahead and join that request box or go ahead and call in. Oh, if you'd like to support the live, I do have the little whale diving gift that I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to clear this gift gallery in the next day or two, and this is one of them. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see if we can get some callers in here. I think my my algorithm might be a little screwed up. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on with the live yesterday. So I don't I was on with Ari, we were doing new things. There was all sorts of stuff. So hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going great. How old are you?
I've been calling in for a little while, last few streams. Finally, happy to be on.
Yeah, well, you caught it at a good time. So how old are you?
You kind of just popped in here. What was the topic on hand today?
Yeah, awesome. The first topic is, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 25.
Awesome, perfect. Do you still support Trump?
I voted for him. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily. I'm indifferent about it. I have some opinions I still agree with, some not so much.
You're indifferent? That's a very weird president to be indifferent on.
I used the wrong verbiage. I apologize.
Well, would you like to correct your verbiage? I'm sorry.
I didn't mean indifferent. I meant I'm a bit in the middle. I was full on supportive of Trump. Now I'm a bit in the middle. I don't know if I I definitely don't full on support him, but I don't know how much more he can do that until he completely loses my support.
Well, sir, if he hasn't completely lost it at this point, then I don't know if there's a way. I mean, he literally is sending his police out to murder people. He's doing regime changes. He literally raped a woman. Like, he sexualized children. He's hiding the Epstein files. And, sir, I don't believe if he hasn't lost your support at this point, I don't think there's a possibility of that happening.
Well, truthfully, I mean, I like I said to a lot of people that I talked to, I think that, I mean, the straw that would break the camel's back, so to speak, would be, I mean, he decides to actually put boots on the ground in Greenland. I mean, that's an unspeakable thing to me. I mean, we've to me, the whole Venezuela thing, while I can recognize the end game, while people a lot of the time want to argue, whether it was good or not, the outcome, in my opinion, good, but what led to that? Terrible, absolutely terrible. Like, it sets a terrible precedent to go forward in terms of China or Russia wanting to go after Ukraine, Taiwan. It sets a terrible precedent.
Thank you so much, Hot Dog. I really appreciate that. So just to be clear, sir, when he sexually assaulted a woman, not a deal breaker. When he, started murdering, send his ICE agents out to murder people, both in detention centers and American citizens in the streets in their cars, or tear gassing children, not a deal breaker. 34 felonies, not a deal breaker. defrauding children with cancer, not a deal breaker. Trying to pay off a porn star, not a deal breaker. Bragging about sexually assaulting women, not a deal breaker. Putting boots on the ground in Greenland, deal breaker.
I mean, the way it's a fucked up way to look at it, in my opinion. But I apologize. I don't know if I can swear. Sorry. When it comes to, I mean, on a global level, I can't stand us breaking our relations from a friendly level. I can't stand us potentially being the cause of World War III. When it comes to politics versus businessmen, that's why I even supported him to begin with. I looked at him from a point of view of, okay, he's not a through and through politician. While he's got a lot of political views, especially nowadays, he's not a through and through politician. So that was where it differed for me there. I was able to turn the other cheek for a lot of those things to hope that there could be a better America. It's obvious that hasn't necessarily been the case.
So I don't know why it would be, sir. He weakened our alliances with all of our allies in his first term, and he still voted for him a second term.
No, I would like to be educated on that. How so did he weaken our relations in the first term? Because
he started trade wars and threatened our NATO allies.
In what sense, though? Because, I mean, there were certain countries that really did appreciate us, and I do recognize there were a handful of others that were, who the fuck is this weirdo? But
yeah, Russia really appreciated us. So did North Korea. So did Hungary. Belarus loved us.
Okay. I mean,
the problem is it's which countries are the ones that are supporting us and which ones aren't. And Donald Trump said that he had no problem with if countries in NATO didn't pay their 2% with allowing Russia to attack them. Do you think that helped to bring us closer to our allies?
No, I don't. I think that I'm on the fence about his whole tactic with that, because like when it comes to, I think that it could just be a big power play in terms of, hey, put your bootstraps up, start to do something over there, defend yourselves. I mean, there's a lot of better ways to go about that. Maybe pull some funding instead of, threatening. But I mean, until he invades Greenland, I have to believe that. So I don't think my entire choice was absolutely abysmal. But I can.
Your entire choice was already abysmal, sir. If it takes you down to putting boots on the ground in Greenland, let's be completely honest with you. As horrible as that is, that's not even the worst thing he's done recently. Okay, so like, and that it's a horrible, horrible thing. But Donald Trump does so many horrible things that invading Greenland is like a small blip on that mirror at that point. Like, let's be honest, we already have military troops there. We already have an agreement to put as many bases there as we want. Like, what's the like, really, Denmark didn't even really want Greenland, and Greenland doesn't really seem to want Denmark. Like, it's a horrible thing. It's bad. It'll help to degrade our alliances, but Donald Trump degrades our alliances every single time he goes to like places like Davos or goes to like Geneva or any places like this in Europe, where he literally tells all these countries how horrible they are, how good we are, and how he doesn't care about them. Like, he does that every time he speaks.
Yeah, no. I mean, as things have been proven nowadays, I mean, I can agree with a lot of that. I think the biggest reason that that boils down to the reason why I voted for him was I looked at everybody brings it up, the lesser of two evils. And I also look at how you had the House, you have the Senate. A lot of it was aligned for him to be able to get things done, because nobody's not going to tell him no. And I was very intrigued and interested to see a president be able to do that. I almost wish that, and I mean, I'm on the right, you're on the left, so I mean, my opinion is going to be different here than yours. I almost wish at this point that, because I think Kamala would have had us suffer, I think that would have been better than us talking of global suffrage at this point.
And how would Kamala Harris have had us suffer?
I mean, truthfully, I've really gotten deep into politics after he got elected, because I'm seeing the world go up in flames.
I don't need you to qualify it. How would she have made us suffer?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a blanket statement, and I mean, I truthfully shouldn't have said that without doing a bit more research, because it's just, that was my rationale then.
Well, let's see.
Like, I mean,
our economy. Let me see. After our economy completely shut down for COVID, and we had horrible economy due to COVID. Our economy was by the time the Biden and Harris administration left the office, right? It was the economy that they called the envy of the world. We recovered from COVID faster than any industrialized nation on the planet. By the time they left office, the immigration system was starting to get under control. They literally had less crossings that were happening by the end of the time. By the time that they left, than at the time when Trump was in office the first time, right? We were regaining our relations that Donald Trump had completely destroyed with our NATO allies by actually, supporting them and showing, showing our continuity with them. We were showing that every time we would go into Davos and other places like that, into Switzerland, and try to, make alliances. So we were doing all of those things. She had actual plans to help things like food costs, to help things like housing market. As we've seen our economy completely suffer and go down the drain since Donald Trump has been president, with a rising unemployment rate, consistent unemployment rate, and seeing prices year over year increase by almost 3%. So what we've seen is Kamala Harris not only helped to work on things that were absolutely amazing for the United States, including things like the PACT Act and the Chips and Sciences Act, but also she had plans to help us more. And you think that would have destroyed America, but you can look at what's going on with Donald Trump right now, watching him currently destroy all of those things, and you think that she would have destroyed us? Give me a break, man.
No, now see that. I mean, you have your point there. Like I said, I should have been more knowledgeable with even bringing up that point. And that's a fault on my logic there, even to begin with. I guess a bigger point that I'd like to bring up, though, is, I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't necessarily, while I did vote for Trump 100%, I wouldn't consider myself right or left. I think both sides are pretty ridiculous. I don't, and now I think that a two-party system is a smart way to go, but I don't like how divided both parties have us as a people.
No, sir. Parties don't have us divided as a people. Donald Trump has us divided as a people because we're not fighting. You seem to be confused that freaking people are fighting right versus left. Oh, there's people that are fighting democracy and there's people that are fighting for fascism. You are somehow trying to play a middle ground to say I'm somewhere between democracy and fascism, and that doesn't exist because they're polar opposites. So people that are normally conservative can look at what Donald Trump is doing right now, see that it's fascist, see that it's freaking dictatorial, see that it's a negative, and see that every hegemony in the history of the world has ended in exactly this type of way, right? And they can look at that and they can go, that's bad. And see you try to cop out from this, right? And go, oh, I think both parties are bad. No, this is not a both parties thing, sir. This is Donald Trump being a fascist and you not being able to look at fascism and say, I'm against that. The parties aren't the problem. People like you are, sir.
It's both. When I say both sides, I mean both extreme sides. With Trump's administration is obviously leaning more towards a fascist regime, and I can't sign on to that. I can't agree with that.
What's the left extreme side?
I mean, like you just said, a lot of regular conservatives can look at that and recognize, oh, there's a fault in a lot of that.
What's the left extreme side?
Oh, the left extreme side. I thought you said less. I mean, you've got whether you want to call Antifa, social on the more extreme side of things, socialism.
So being anti-fascist is the extreme side?
No, not full on. Bro, where I grew up was, in one of the big cities. So I had a couple buddies who aligned with Antifa, things of that nature, and it wasn't even that was before Trump was even in the picture. To where it's like, I mean. It's always been an anti-conservative, an anti-right thing. It's
an anti-far right thing.
Well, okay, fair.
Yeah,
fair.
I'm Antifa. Everybody in my chat is Antifa. Everybody here is against fascism, right?
And I can respect.
No,
that,
you can't. You're saying it's far left that you can't agree with.
I can agree with the fuck fascism. I can't agree with the extreme level of it. I can agree.
What extreme level?
When it comes to, I mean, okay, I can agree that January 6th was a terrible thing. The right should have been treated a lot more harshly than they did, but that's just as bad as a lot of these riots and things like that Antifa is participating in. It's all fucking terrible. That
Antifa is participating in. So you're just saying that anti-fascists are showing up places and you don't like that? That's the far left that is somehow countering fascism, sir?
No, I'm not talking about the current ones going on with ICE in this administration. I'm talking things in the past, whether it be the initial response to George Floyd, 100% response.
Can you give me one Antifa member that was a part of any of that?
I mean, I'm not going to give up people's identities because I mean that's.
Oh, so you know that people from Antifa were a part of it, and you know their actual identities, and you don't want to give them up.
One person in particular, and I mean, I know him quite closely, and he's not a bad guy. It's just we have different opinions.
Sure.
So, I mean,
I'm pretty sure everybody at that protest was Antifa, because all Antifa means is that you're against fascism, sir. That's all it means. Are you for fascism? Do you like fascism?
No.
Then you're Antifa. Congratulations, you made it. You get a membership card. It's in the mail. You're Antifa now. Congratulations.
I get your mindset, because in Trump's world, anybody who's Antifa is a you know, a terrorist, things like that. So I mean, of course, if
No,
I disagree
sir.
with that, I must be.
Where's Antifa? Who leads Antifa?
There's not a definitive leader, because there's not. It's a. I mean, how do I word it? It's not necessarily a secretive organization. It's. I mean, it's just something.
Because
it's
it's
an
not an
ideology more than anything.
organization.
It's an ideology.
Right. All it means it's an ideology that says you don't like fascism. There's no clubhouse, there's no membership card, there's no leader, there's no agenda. We don't go to meetings. None of these things exist, sir. You're saying that an ideology is the far left when that entire ideology is just fuck fascists. Like all of our soldiers that fought in World War II were Antifa.
And I can agree to that on a blanket statement. Fuck fashion, but two things can be true at the same time. A lot of people who are a part of Antifa do align with very left socialistic or borderline communistic views. I know,
and some of them are conservatives.
Okay,
and some of them are moderates, and they're somewhere all in between there.
Okay, I guess we got off on we started talking deeply about Antifa. I guess, you know, when I talked about you asked me the extreme left. The extreme left are the people who identify themselves with a lot more socialistic and communistic beliefs, while the far right are the people who align themselves with a lot more fascist beliefs. And those are the two sides that got people neck and neck at each other.
So what is socialism?
Socialism is, I mean, on paper, well, you want exact or okay.
Well, you're making the claim that it's far left and the opposite of fascism. So yeah, what is it?
So I mean, socialism is, I mean, essentially layman's terms. I mean, taken care of by the government. I mean, essentially the government.
Nope.
Hold your hand kind of through things. Decides, you know, your wages, things. Okay, then explain.
The means of production are owned by the people. That's all socialism means. It means that your labor, the goods that your labor produce should be owned by you instead of some CEO. Right? It's the opposite of capitalism. Right. Well, not the opposite. Technically, communism would be the opposite of capitalism. But regardless, it's a socioeconomic freaking phrase. Okay. Socialism just means that the means of production is owned by the people, which means we don't have things like CEOs. We don't have things like that. Right. If you work for a company, if you work for Walmart, then you get part of Walmart. And sometimes that means that things are owned by the government. Right. Like sometimes socialist things include things like, you know, our utilities, or, you know, like Venezuela, where they have socialism when it comes to like their oil, right? Their oil is owned by the country, and the whole point of that is that the proceeds from that oil goes back to the people instead of CEOs. Can you imagine in the United States if the proceeds from the oil production in the United States went to the people instead of the CEOs and stakeholders of Exxon or Chevron? Right? Can you imagine how much better we would be if that money went to pay for schools, or went to pay for groceries, or went to pay for childcare or paternal leave or any of those types of things, your health care? Wouldn't it be so much better if all of that money went to go help Americans instead of just in the pockets of Chevron and Exxon?
No, 100%. I can agree with that. And that's,
I mean, that's socialism.
You've opened my eyes a bit in terms of I think I need to do a bit more research into exactly what socialism is. Another point that I would like to bring up, that, and maybe this might be leaning more towards on the communistic side or communism side of things, but it's been my notion that a big part of it, like, and a big reason why, I mean, at least our capitalism is semi-worked. I mean, that's very flawed for a while, is because, I mean, the what's the word I'm looking for? The inherent, drive to, okay, if I build this business, if I get it successful, you know, me and my family's going to be, you know, being treated good for, you know, generations. I'm going to be able to build that generational wealth. I'm going to be able to, the American dream, so to speak, to where, like, that's why, I mean, I definitely think that, I mean, these rich companies need to be thrown taxed a hell of a lot harder. Figured out how we figured that situation out. But I mean, in terms of a full-on socialistic society, where is that drive to build something then? I mean, I guess again, from a personal standpoint,
you can still make a lot of money in socialism. You can still succeed. You can still become great. You can still build companies. You can still see the proceeds of those companies. All of those things still exist in socialism. None of that goes away. You can still build a
Okay.
dream. You can still buy a house. You can still make a lot of money. You can still be educated. You can still make more money. And if you're talking about communism, communism is an ideology that doesn't even exist, right? Like, I mean, it exists, but it's not even real, right? It's a moneyless, classless, stateless society. It's pretty much going back to, like how indigenous people lived in the in indigenous United States, right? Like, there is no government. There is no anything, right? And so, like, what you're talking about is like when you see, like countries that, convert into more socialism or communism, where they literally are taking down oligarchs, right? Where they're taking down people that were literally allowing people in the United States to starve to death, while simultaneously they became rich and set up in their mansions, and then people, came down and and got rid of them as they moved the country forward, right? But again, what you're describing, sir, is like living pretty much off the land, no money, no government, no no anything, right? Which is true communism. Now, if you go into like Marxism, that's a little bit different, but whatever, right? But all of these things pretty much just go to feed the people, take care of the people, make sure the people are taken care of, make sure that their needs are met in order for them to be successful in life. And you're arguing that those theories, right? Those theories of making sure that that people as constituents of a country are taken care of and that their needs are met is somehow the opposite of authoritarian dictatorships who send police out to murder and execute their citizens. Like, those aren't opposites, sir. They're not.
No, I mean, I can respect the viewpoint, and I mean, I can definitely, talking to you a lot more and hearing your viewpoint a lot more, I can sympathize and agree with it a bit more. I don't know, maybe truthfully it might be because of the way I was born and raised and things like that. It's just the American propaganda, so to speak, kind of born and bred through me.
Yeah, so it's the whole thing about communism and socialism and all sorts of stuff. The United States for a very, very long time had convinced everyone that that communism was the worst thing in the world. Everybody that they hated was communist. They called Honduras communist, just so they could go in and so their, banana companies could go in and take over, right? They called everybody communist or socialist just in order to put fear into them and give a reason for us invading other countries, right? Instead of just, calling it what it is. And what it is it's a bunch of very, very rich people. Like, I think I heard it once a long time ago, right? That it's people that make $700 an hour are convincing people that make $25 an hour that people that make $7 an hour are the problem, right? Like, when the far left of the Democratic Party, like about as far left as you can get right now, wants socialized medical care so that we're not the only country where the number one cause of bankruptcy in the United States is medical debt, where people don't literally go into bankruptcy for getting sick. We're the only industrialized country that does that. And that's considered the far left. Right, Mamdani is considered like a far left socialist because he wants to provide free public transportation and free childcare. That's the horrible far left socialists that you're talking about. The worst of the worst. Can't just horrible people.
Yeah.
Why you literally have the right going out, freaking sending freaking ICE out, murdering fucking American citizens on tape where we watch it, and then calling the person murdered a fucking domestic terrorist. They're literally snatching up 5-year-old children.
I think that thing is all
They're
BS.
snatching up 5-year-old children and holding them hostage and sending them to detention centers, right? Or concentration camps is what they really are, right? Literally,
I mean,
literally, this
Sorry.
is what they're doing, and they're trying to convince you that somebody that believes that free healthcare should exist is the problem. You see where that's an issue?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean, when it comes to ICE, I mean, I such a double-edged sword with me. I absolutely detest and hate everything that they've been doing as a organization. But when it comes to a blanket statement, if we just take Trump's words at face value as to what he wanted them to do, great idea. Just the way they've executed that, absolutely fucking terrible.
Nope, they're executing it exactly the way Trump wanted them to execute it. They're executing it exactly how Donald Trump wants them to execute it.
You think so?
I know so. They're going off of orders from the White House.
Well, okay. I mean, I guess in that regard, but I mean, are these public statements that he's said? Because I feel like that would ruffle up a lot more feathers than not.
Yeah, he makes public statements all the time. What are you talking about? He tells them to be rougher. He tells them to be meaner, right? He tells them to do whatever it takes. He tells them to. When they do horrible acts, the freaking vice president goes on and tells him he has immunity. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, yeah, they're very open about cruelty being the point, that inhumanity being the point, that lacking empathy is the point. They're very open about it. They want this to happen.
No, I mean, I can't agree with that. I mean, I can agree with getting illegal people out of here and things of that nature, but I can't agree with the way that it's been done. And I mean, I can also understand that there's going to be instances to where, you know, there's also going to, on a mass situation like this, even if it was done perfectly right, and there's no perfect, but even if it was done right, there's always going to be instances of people mistreated, this or that. But to the degree that it's been is absolutely terrible.
But you're standing in the middle on that.
I'm standing in the, I would like to see what they do continue if it gets halted and they go through a major, because it's been proven that they only have like 2 weeks of training. No, that needs to be a hell of a lot more. They need a lot more training.
The reason why they have 2 weeks of training is because of Trump. They didn't have that before now.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't agree with that. They need that more.
This is what you're standing in the middle of, sir. Dude, have you seen there's a leftist activist, right, who joined ICE, who tried to join ICE. Have you seen the video of that?
I have not.
Yeah. So she's a literal prominent leftist, okay, who went to go join ICE, like just to see what would happen, right? She fills out the application, I don't even think she completed it. They called her back and they were like, yeah, like, we'll like take you. They took her to go get a drug test, which she was freaking like smoking on it, like, should have been tested for it. They ignored it. They sent her a background check. She didn't even do the background check. They still hired her, right? Without the background check, without being able to pass a drug test. And they get on there and they get on the interview and they're like, yeah, you know, you won't be able to like go out there with like a gun right away, but you'll be able to like, you have to like push papers for like like 6 months or so until we can get you out there. And she was like, yeah, that's like totally fine. And they were like, but like, don't worry, like we don't really make people wait that long. Like we'll get you on the street with like a gun and a badge like immediately.
Yeah, no, that is ridiculous. And I mean, that's why, I mean, it needs to be, that whole thing needs to be looked at as a microscope. The one thing that I don't agree with, though, is a lot of people are saying, oh, they need to be completely unmasked and unmasked. I've also seen confirmed reports of their houses being doxxed and things like that. Because, I mean, like, no officer, especially with what they're doing, like, I recognize the intensity of it, but it's like, they're going to get doxxed regardless, and it's like, but that doesn't mean that they should be able to just be concealed in wherever the hell they want. Put ice all over your gear and everything.
You know what's real cool?
Your unmarked vehicles.
You know what's really helpful in not getting doxxed?
What?
Not murdering people and not kidnapping children.
Oh, well, yes. I mean,
you do realize that you do realize that ICE existed under the Biden administration, ICE existed under the Obama administration, and they deported a shit ton of people. A shit ton. And they never had to be masked. Do you know why?
Well, because I mean, they weren't. Trump is putting a scare tactic on it, which I don't necessarily agree with, and that's why they're masked. I mean,
because ICE is breaking the fucking law. Because ICE is being inhumane towards people. Because ICE is freaking acting like fucking Trump's Gestapo. And if they weren't acting like that, then there would be no reason to freaking to have them masked, because no one would be doxing them, because they would just be deporting people humanely, like is the job of ICE. They don't need to be masked because they're fucking, because of a fear of them getting doxxed. The reason why they have to be masked is the reason why they're getting doxxed. The same reason why they're masked is the exact same reason why they're getting doxxed. And that's because of the actions that they're doing.
Hey, sorry about that. No, I had actually a real big question for you, though. So so on the whole, like, this is kind of drawing it back a little bit, but like when it comes to the whole socialist side of things, and the, you know, capitalism, so do you think that our country under a full socialistic order, socialistic rule would be better, or do you think it should be a so to speak, you know, joint capitalistic socialistic society?
Yeah, so we look at societies that are closer to socialism in the United States. We look at places like Norway. We look at places like Denmark, right? We look at places in Scandinavia that are much closer to socialism, and they are like the happiest places on the planet.
Okay. Okay.
Their citizens literally are the happiest people on the planet. Yeah, because they don't have to worry about much, sir. If they freaking have a kid, they get paternity leave. If they work shorter days, they work shorter hours, they make more than enough money to buy houses and to live very, very comfortably, right? They can still prosper. They still have different, tiers of finances and all that sort of stuff, right? There's tons of ways. Now, granted, none of these things are, they're not complete socialistic societies, right? I think that when you get complete into socialism, what you do is you run the risk of falling into authoritarianism, right? Which is, again, a far right thing, right? You run into that risk of it being converted into something horrible. So I think a little bit of capitalism is fine to mix along with it, right? I think a little bit of capitalism, a little bit of socialism works very well, which is what we would call a democratic socialist, right? In our terms, right? Strong safety nets, strong social programs within the United States while still living within a capitalistic society. That's what we'd call it, is like a democratic socialist. Well, technically you'd call it more like a social democrat, but regardless, right?
Yeah.
That mix of a little bit of socialism and a little bit of capitalism is the people like Donald Trump call the far leftist. That's your Bernie Sanders. That's your Zoran Mamdanis.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely agree. I don't know. I have strong viewpoints about like the entire, I don't know. I think I'm trying to figure out how to word myself without being I guess controversial. I think we're one step away from getting ourselves into a very, very deep situation that we can't get ourselves out of, and it's nothing that I feel like we can even do here as a people, because it's a lot of outside powers that are at play here.
It's insane.
Nope, we're exactly where Donald Trump said he was going to put us, and people are still supporting him. So you can either choose to stand up against that, or you can stand to simp to it. That's the only two options.
Well, hey, I appreciate your time, man. I'm punching out here at work, and I had a great convo with you.
All right, have a good one, man.
You too, man.
Yeah, it's pretty that simple on it. Just being honest with you, it's really that simple. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Again, like I said, we are having a hard time getting a few people in here, maybe because that's a Friday night and we're just doing whatever, but that's okay. We're still having some good conversations. We're still having some fun. So if you guys would like to support, I do have all the pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. I have my DJ glasses up here. I think I need like one person to send like 5 of them. I think that clears my gift gallery for the week or whatever. So if you guys would like to support, I really appreciate that. I also have Luis with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I can't stand this MAGA hypocrite callers. No matter what, they will always find an excuse to justify and defend their orange leader. I just hate that in the middle stuff. It's wild. It's weird. All right. It's just the in the middle stuff is weird. And Luis, thank you so much for the $5. Said, come on, Polly, would never wear the hat. You look like a child. It was hurting my head. That's the reason I took it off. And Delicious Things said this MAGA brain cold color soft power is his brain and pin is. Oh, that was that last guy. Yeah, that's not when that was the guy before that. Sorry, I missed this one. That dude was wild. And Ron, thank you so much for the $5. Said, is this caller against harassing people because of their color? Well, I'm sure he's in the middle. All right, I'm sure he's in the middle on it. So I guess we'll have to see. We don't really know. He doesn't know whether he's for like harassing people or not harassing people. Woo. I guess we'll have to find out later. And me, thank you so much for the gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
I am 32.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, actually, on one particular issue, and the one particular issue I would like to talk about.
Well, sir, if you support Trump, it's not on one particular issue. If you disagree with Trump on most things and you agree with him on one particular issue, then I don't know why we're having a conversation.
Well, there's other issues, but there's one particular issue that stands out above all else to me, and that's the main reason why I support Trump.
All right, fine. What is it? It's always one of like 2 things.
All right, simple. How to deal with the terrorist regime in Iran, and how he has actually helped supporting bringing down this terrorist regime.
And how's he doing that?
The left has a hard
No,
time.
we're not talking about the left. How is he doing that?
Yes. How simple? Maximum pressure, maximum sanctions, being the first president to actually support protesters going out in the streets.
Let's talk about those protesters. I think that's actually really important to talk about. So Donald Trump actually told a whole bunch of protesters, he's like, go out and protest and we will protect you. We'll make sure that that you're protected and all sorts of stuff. And they did that. And, I actually do support Donald Trump, putting a red line in the sand and saying, hey, if you go out and protest like the Ayatollah, then we'll protect you. The problem is that he told them that. Then they went out and protested. Then the Ayatollah went and arrested a bunch of them and executed a whole bunch of them. They got literally slaughtered in the fucking streets, and Donald Trump didn't do fuck all.
Actually, we already have the USS Abraham already in the Arabian Sea.
So, he put a boat there. Oh, so did that fix the freaking people that all got slaughtered by the Ayatollah or no? Because he came out afterwards and said he was actually very happy with the Ayatollah and how they had not freaking executed more people and how they were doing a great job.
So the original standpoint of why he, what he meant by that was 800 were set to be executed, including one by the name of Erfan Soltani. And when the Ayatollah said to him that they decided to cancel that said 800 executions, that's when he initially backed off. However, he already had the USS Abraham Lincoln already at the Arabian Sea, the USS Bush currently at the Mediterranean Sea. The stage is set right now for.
So he's done fuck all.
No to be destroyed.
So what you're saying is he hasn't done a fucking thing.
Not yet.
Okay, cool. So if he does something, then maybe you have a point to stand on. But until then, Donald Trump talked a whole bunch, allowed a whole bunch of people to get fucking slaughtered, and has done jack shit.
Well, are you talking about that he is responsible for the 20,000 Iranians killed, or are you saying
Sir, I think the Ayatollah is the one that would be responsible for that, not Donald Trump. Okay, however, you're the one that's saying that you support Donald Trump because of that, right? Because so far you're saying I support Donald Trump for him doing absolutely nothing, and I just think that that's a very strange. Sir, I'm not listening to you while I'm talking. Just thought I'd let you know that. I'm not listening to you while I'm talking. I just thought I should let you know that. Okay? If I'm still in the middle of a sentence, I'm not listening to you.
All right, go ahead.
Perfect. So far, you have said you support his action in Iran, right? And so far, his action has been fucking nothing. Okay, so you can project and you can say. All right. So you can project and say, I think he's going to do something later. But until he does that thing, you're really standing on absolutely nothing. So very strange point to stand on.
All right, so my turn, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we learned this in kindergarten, sir. When I'm stop talking, that's your turn to start talking. Yeah.
Okay, smart one. So back in 2022.
I mean, I am smart enough to have passed kindergarten and to have learned that. Yeah.
All right, cool. So back in 2022, when the Iranians actually went out to protest after the death of Mahsa Amini, all right, Joe Biden and his administration didn't do shit. All right, the only thing that really did do was just to give Shirin Hajipour a Grammy presented by his wife. All right, that didn't do anything.
Awesome. So they both did nothing. Congratulations.
Right. On top of that.
So they both did nothing.
So here you are trying to interrupt me. I'm sorry.
Sir, why are you talking? Sir. Because you're moving the goalpost, right? And it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Compared to what Trump is actually doing for the Iranian people.
Sir, I'm not comparing Biden to Trump. At no point did I'm sorry. At what point did I say Biden was better for Iran than Trump? Did I say that?
No, but I'm saying.
Then why are you trying to make it a point as if I made that fucking point?
Iranians than Democrats in the past.
Sir, there are tons of Democrats. Biden is not the only Democrat. My point is that Iran, as far as Iran is going, Donald Trump hasn't done a fucking thing. He hasn't done shit. Okay, so unless you're going to show me something that Donald Trump has done that actually stopped all those people from getting slaughtered, then I really don't give a shit what Biden did.
Well, I mean, he did assassinate Qasem Soleimani, which was the #1 commander of the IRGC. So
awesome. That's great. That was his first term, right?
That was.
Oh, okay.
Who, by the way, Qasem Soleimani is a terrorist. which also we have people
Yeah,
celebrate
Donald Trump has fucking actual leaders of the Taliban in the White House who are actual terrorists, fucking making fucking trade deals with them and shit. So I don't think Donald Trump really gives a shit about terrorists.
Of Syria, because we're not talking about Syria or al-Jawlani.
No, we're talking about terrorists. Yeah, he is one.
Taliban.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, we're not talking about any other country. I'm just talking about
No,
Iran
sir.
right
That's
now.
not how that works, sir. If you're gonna talk about terrorists, then we're talking about terrorists. Okay.
Okay.
So
What's the
you
definition of
introduced terrorists. Okay. And so I talked about a terrorist. All right. You don't get to just say like, oh, I only care about terrorists from Iran. That's not how that works.
Yeah, you can, because that's my point.
Yeah, that's not
And
how
by
that's not how real adult
Right now,
conversations
working
have, sir.
towards
Sorry.
toppling a regime
Yeah.
in Iran, and now it
Yeah.
seems to be
Literally no one fucking cares, sir.
So I already mentioned what I support.
Literally no one fucking cares. Okay. So do you have an actual point to bring up besides I support Donald Trump for doing absolutely fucking nothing?
Well, like I said, but since you won't listen. Have a great day, man.
Pretty sure I talked to this guy like the other day and he made this exact same argument and the exact same thing happened last time. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even support Trump. I think he just likes to freaking hear himself talk about Iran, to be completely honest with you. Master, thank you so much for the sun balloon. I really appreciate that. Christina, thank you so much for the cardinal. I saw someone send one of those DJ glasses too. Jeanette, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just has this thing where he likes to talk about Iran and he just doesn't really care about actually talking about anything else besides that. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello, how are you?
I'm all right.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yo.
Awesome. Why is
In
that?
fact, I was a liberal in 2016. I voted for
Literally
Hillary
no one
Clinton.
cares. Why do you still support Trump?
He does what he says he's going to do. He does exactly what we voted for.
Like when he said he was going to end the war between Russia and Ukraine in 24 hours?
I mean, you can make childish little jabs like he didn't.
No,
do
you
one
said,
thing.
no, sir, you said he does everything he said he was going to do. I'm just asking you like that. Or like, how about when he said he was going to bring, how about when he said he was going to bring grocery prices down and now he says affordability is a Democratic hoax?
Under Democratic leadership, I got raped on my taxes. Under
Sir,
him,
I didn't
get a
ask
comeback.
you
All my
anything about
overtime-
Democrat. You talking about under Biden?
Yeah, under every liberal.
Oh,
Every
okay.
liberal takes conservative tax dollars and gives it to broke people who are drug addicts or criminals. I got two people who live down the street from me. They get $2,000 a month while I'm paying $2,000 a month.
Just a quick question, sir. How often do we do tax plans?
How often does what?
How often do we do tax plans?
What do you
Like
mean?
tax policy. How often is our tax policy updated?
I don't know.
Oh, it's every 8 years. Okay. And when did we just do our last tax policy?
I don't know.
Oh, it was 2025. Okay. So
Yeah, great.
if we look back, okay, when was the one passed before that?
If it was 8 years, it would be 2017.
Copy. So when Biden was in presidency, whose tax plan were we under?
Trump's.
Oh, so when you were saying that you had a rough time with your taxes under Biden, you were actually complaining about Donald Trump's tax plan.
Yeah, I never said he did it in his first term.
Oh, gotcha. So every time there's a Democrat in, your taxes hurt you. But now all of a sudden those taxes were actually Republican tax plans, so now they don't count. Copy all that. Yeah.
It's not just taxes. It's not just taxes. It's the way that the left, and I used to be left, it's the way that the left, instead of like the United States, what the United States is great, why we're great, is because of justice. Justice is an individual thing, and what the left likes to do is turn it into a group thing. It's black people or
So you believe in justice.
Latina people. Group justice isn't justice. Anytime
But individual justice is.
Individual justice is.
So like a person
someone
so like a person that like gets convicted of like 34 different felonies, but then after it gets convicted of those felonies, is not given any punishment of those just because they were elected to an office.
I mean, you can make sham trials. I don't.
Oh,
believe
okay.
that
So how
you-
about the people that literally attacked and assaulted Capitol police officers on January 6th, but were then pardoned by Donald Trump so they didn't have to face justice?
Yeah, I mean, almost all of them. You guys went after them like a witch
Okay,
trial.
how
There was
about the
people who
literal-
walked into the building
Yeah.
and didn't
How about
do anything
how about
wrong?
the like literal CEO of Binance who was convicted of helping to fund terrorists? Who
What
Donald
about
Trump
you guys
pardoned?
taking over city blocks?
Oh no,
Nothing
I'm
ever
just, sir,
happened.
sir. You just were explaining to me how the right is all about justice and how it's so important for individual justice. And I'm
Yeah,
wondering,
there was justice
I'm
on
wondering why
January 6th.
Donald Trump pardoned, I believe he was a Honduran president who was convicted of trafficking over 400 tons of cocaine in the United States, and he was pardoned so that he didn't face justice.
A pardon happens after you're already convicted for a federal crime.
Oh, gotcha. You mean like when Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts of a federal crime?
I mean, you could say that if you guys want to move people around and fucking do all kinds of weird shit to get them on some crazy one-off crimes or make
Move
up crimes
people
to convict
around.
them
They
on.
just convicted him in the city that he committed the crime in.
In New York City, one of the
Yeah.
biggest left fucking
That's where he's
strongholds
from
in
and
the
where he
country.
did business in for the majority of his life, correct?
Yeah,
where he
and you
has
can't-
a
and-
permanent
and
residence
where a
at.
socialist got elected.
So gotcha. So this guy apparently thinks that justice is moving somebody away from where they do business and where they live and where they grew up into someplace that's more favorable to them is justice. Copy.
No, that's not what I said.
Well,
I
I
said
mean,
it was
if that's the
a
case, like I live
politically
in
motivated trial.
Florida, if I live in Florida, right, which is a red state, if I commit a crime, I should actually be shipped to someplace like maybe like California or Massachusetts, right? So I could face a jury there, because
Well,
it'd be more
There-
justice for you.
We do have laws for conflict of interest, and when it
Mm.
comes to political prosecutions, there needs to be something else that happens than what we have currently,
Mm.
because it's not like everybody thinks it was a scam thing. Everyone on your side thinks that it was all fair and justice.
There was
But
literally
if the
3
shoes were
confirmed
reversed, you'd be
Trump
saying the
supporters
same
on
thing
that.
as us.
There was 3 confirmed Trump supporters on the jury, and they unanimously convicted him.
Okay, great. What's your point?
He admitted to the evidence that convicted him.
What evidence? What
The
was the
signed
evidence that
checks.
convicted him?
The signed checks that he said he signed.
So your whole argument is we shouldn't support him because in doing business,
I didn't say
he has
anything
some
about.
signed checks.
I didn't say anything about supporting him. You are making the claim that the right is about justice, and I am showing you an example of justice not being served.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept some things to get something that I
So,
think is better.
gotcha. So you're willing
I
to
don't
accept.
need perfect justice. I never claimed
Gotcha.
it had to be
So
perfect.
you're willing to ignore justice in order to make the claim that you support justice. Got it.
No. In order to get somebody in the White House who will support what we feel is justice, yeah.
Oh, so what you feel is justice. So justice isn't objective. Justice is subjective,
It doesn't
depending
need
on
to be
what political
perfect.
party that you have. So if you're, on the right and you support Trump, then you get no justice. And if you're on the left, then you get justice, even if it's not
No, you should
justified.
get justice either way. You should
Oh,
get justice either way.
But yet Donald
for
Trump pardons
example-
anybody who donates $12 to his fucking, to his bank account or to his son.
or like Biden who pardoned his son and they found cocaine in the White House. Whatever happened with that?
He wasn't convicted of having cocaine in the White House.
Yeah, whose was it? I mean, if
Well, I don't know. It
if
was
I'm
probably
addicted
Hunter
to drugs
Biden's,
and
but
I'm
that's
the
not.
president's
It was
kid and they
probably
find
Hunter
drugs in the
Biden's
White House-
kid, sir. But if you look at Eric Trump, if that dude's on much more than, or Don Jr., he's on much worse than cocaine. I don't care if they find it in the White House or not. But regardless of that, he wasn't convicted of cocaine possession, sir. So he wasn't pardoned from that.
Okay. I at this point, like, we don't care. Especially
Well, I'm
people
very
like me
aware
who've
that you
been
don't care,
converted
sir.
from liberalism at this point. But I still want justice to happen. For example, what happened with the FACE Act and like the storming of the church recently. I don't think Don Lemon should go to jail or face charges, but everybody else I do.
Okay. But you don't think
So
people that stormed the Capitol and freaking were responsible for the deaths of 2 Capitol police officers deserve to be held accountable?
that's not what I said.
Yes, you did. I actually made a specific comment about Donald Trump pardoning January 6ers, and you were like, some of them were not doing anything.
Yeah,
sir, I'm not talking
some
about the
of them,
people. Sir, listen. I'm not talking about the people that weren't doing anything. I'm talking about the people we have on video assaulting police officers that Donald Trump pardoned.
Okay, here, let me make this statement. Any person who committed a legitimate crime that day should have went to prison.
Oh,
Full stop.
Gotcha. But Donald Trump pardoned them, literally getting them out of that justice, and you still support him. So you're not for justice.
I still support him. He pardoned them after what, 2-3 years?
Some of them never served a
You
day.
ever been to jail? Do you know what
Some of
jail's
them,
like?
some of them. Oh, gotcha. So justice is if you've ever served a couple days in jail for literally causing the deaths of police officers. So if you did,
I mean,
did
we
a
have a
year or
justice
two, then
system pardoned as part of it.
that's justice. That's totally okay.
I mean, the pardon power is part of our justice system. I don't. What do you want me to say? He
Sir,
used it.
whether
Every
or not the
president ever has
pardon
used it.
power is whether or not the pardon power is part of our justice system does not change it from not being justice.
Okay, well, that we wouldn't be able to support any president ever. Every president has used it, and I guarantee you could find somebody in that.
Sir, I'm not the one
that
saying
you
I
don't agree with
support
it.
the right because of justice. You're the
Yeah, I
one,
do,
sir.
justice.
Here's how you're moving this goalpost, okay? And you're trying to move it as fast as you can. I know, and it must be very, very difficult for you. So I'm gonna level set this thing, and I'm gonna put it in a certain spot. That way you can understand what you're doing, okay? Because maybe you don't see it, okay? You said you support the right, that you left liberalism, whatever the fuck that is, because the right supports justice. I am making multiple, and I think I'm at at least 8 or 9 examples of how Donald Trump and the Republicans don't support justice if it's anybody on the right or supports their cause. You are trying to counter that by telling me someone on the left did something, but I never said the words, I support the left because of justice. You're the one making that positive claim, and I am poking holes in it. So you telling me that somebody on the left did something, made a pardon, does any of this shit, doesn't change the argument and does not freaking go against anything that I'm saying. Sound good?
It's illogical what you're saying. You're trying to poke holes in me supporting it. Yeah, so I support him for justice, but it doesn't matter to me if he pardons someone or not.
Gotcha. I support justice. I support him because of justice, but only if he does justice, but not the other times when he doesn't do justice. Copy. Makes complete sense. I'm with you.
It doesn't not make sense.
It doesn't not make
literally,
sense. Yeah.
The left literally attacks white people. Like if you're an Asian person or you're white people try to get into a college, it's way less likely because of DEI programs. It's crazy.
DEI doesn't affect anyone getting into college, and also white people.
That's true. They did a bunch of.
And also, sir, white people,
all these Ivy League schools,
sir. And still white people disproportionately get into colleges much over their actual percentage of the population.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I'm not asking your fucking opinion. I'm informing you of the facts. You can listen to those facts or you cannot listen to those facts, but I'm not asking your opinion.
Wonderful. No wonder you guys are winning.
You guys? Is that a race thing?
Yeah,
or?
Leftist.
Sir, I win every day.
I mean, you're on
I
here
win every
complaining all
single day, sir. Sir, you know what's awesome? Is I don't get to sit up here and whine about fucking whatever you guys refer to as reverse racism. I don't fucking cry about justice and then support injustice. I don't freaking hear and support fucking a Gestapo or the murder of American citizens, the kidnapping of 5-year-olds. I freaking support people to be able to live their life with some type of humanity. I support empathy. I support freaking common sense. And that's something that you can never do. I win every single fucking day that I'm alive, that I'm not one of you.
So if I break into your house,
you'll get shot.
You think you should be able to remove me? Yeah, see? Someone's breaking into our home where we live.
Nope.
Our country.
Because my home is not the same as our country. Because the laws about getting into our home, my home, and our country are different because we are a country of laws. Okay? Just like you were talking about with justice. sir.
Yeah, and
But
the law
again,
says
sir, I don't disagree that we should have strong border policy. I don't disagree that we should need to have strong, that we need to have strong customs and border protection. I don't disagree that we need to have people at our border to make sure people don't come in. I agree with all of those things.
okay. So why do you think it's a Gestapo? People going and looking for people, and
They
the
literally
whole thing with
kidnapped
that
a
is
5-year-old.
that is not true. That
It
is
is
not
true.
what happened.
They
whatsoever.
kidnapped
No,
a
it's not. They
5-year-old,
chased his
held
dad.
him. No, they fucking held the kid hostage in order to fucking bait the dad out. By the way, both of them, okay,
You know why they
came
had
in the
the
United.
kid?
Hey, both of those people.
You know why they had the kid? Because the dad ran and left the kid, abandoned
They
his
picked up
kid.
the kid from the bus stop.
No, they didn't.
They did, and guess what? Both of that kid.
No, they didn't.
Shut up.
You got that shit from the news, and that's
Be
fake
quiet.
news.
I'm speaking. Both that dad and that kid came in this country legally.
Came in this country. They came and applied for asylum.
That would be legally. Yeah.
Yeah,
That they
and
came
our
through a
government
port
still
of
reserves
entry.
the right to arrest those people and remove them.
No.
Just because Joe
gotcha.
Biden allowed
Do you see how
millions
quickly
of people to come in.
Donald Trump allowed millions of people to come in under asylum in his first term? What are you talking about, sir? Regardless of whether you like it or not, sir, they came here legally. They came here through ports of entry, okay, and they came here legally. I thought Donald Trump was all about freaking getting rid of people. Okay, about getting rid of people that were criminals, about going after criminals. Now we're just going after somebody that's here legally, that came here legally, that was in the court system doing things the right way, who had not missed a fucking court date. Those are the people that we're attacking now?
I mean, it doesn't sound like you're doing shit the right way. If someone tries to stop you, you flee and abandon your kid in a car chase. It don't sound legal to me.
Well, guess what,
Is
sir?
that
Your
what you
legal
would do if
status,
you had your kid in the car?
sir.
If you had your kid in the car,
sir,
would you run and put yourself first? Does that sound like a good dad to you?
From masked agents, probably.
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I don't care
You're
what the
definitely not a
craziest thing,
dad.
sir. You're supporting the
You're definitely
kidnapping
not
of
a
a
dad.
child.
You're not a dad, for sure. I don't care what I did. I would never.
Sir,
leave my
I'm
kid. I would
your
die
dad.
before I left my
Okay.
kid. And if you
I'm
really think
your
they're
dad.
Gestapo,
Well, guess what, sir?
if you
Guess
really
what,
think
sir?
they're Gestapo,
Hey, I'm gonna
you
mute
would
you now.
never leave.
I'm gonna mute you now. Okay, because I'm trying to speak. Okay. Perfect. I wouldn't personally leave my kid. No, I would not. Okay, but I also wouldn't expect a bunch of masked fucking armed agents to be waiting at a bus stop for me and my fucking kid, especially when I was here legally. But that doesn't change the fact, sir, that you're supporting, okay, those masked armed agents fucking taking that fucking 5-year-old, and he is now currently in a fucking concentration camp in fucking Texas, awaiting who knows what when he came here legally. That 5-year-old who should be going to school, who should be learning, who should be playing with fucking toys, who should be growing up like as a fucking 5-year-old, is now currently in a fucking detention center in fucking San Antonio, going through God knows what fucking horrors. Okay. And that is what you support. But let's also be very clear. That dad didn't run. Okay. He didn't. We have literally dozens and dozens and dozens of eyewitness fucking accounts from the fucking school personnel that show that he never ran from that fucking bus stop. His kid was fucking kidnapped by ICE agents. He was actually there trying to get the fucking kid back as they held that child hostage. And this is like why you say, sir, when you say, oh, you guys aren't winning? Sir, you're supporting the kidnapping of children. I win every single day that I remind myself that I'm not you.
Yeah, you're just saying propaganda right now. They did a correction on that story that you're spitting, and all your news agencies said this lie that you're repeating right now, and they had
I don't
to
watch the
retract.
news. Sorry, sir.
They had to retract.
I
It's a
don't
lie.
watch the news, sir. I wouldn't know what they said, and I wouldn't know what they retracted.
And regardless, if you don't want mass ICE agents in your streets, then your side needs to work with ICE. In every red state right now, you know what happens? Criminals get arrested, they find out that they're illegals, and those people get deported. Nobody's going in
What
the streets.
percentage of people in the United States that are being arrested by ICE are actually criminals?
You think everybody knows that?
I know that.
The last time I heard Kristi Noem say it was like 70%.
Yeah.
Insane.
So you're saying Kristi Noem said that. Now, can we go to what ICE data says?
I mean, tell me what you say ICE data says.
Well, it's not what ICE data says, sir. Anybody in the fucking world and anybody
mean,
that's watching
anything
this
that you
live
say,
can
anything
literally
you say,
log
Michael,
onto ICE's website, okay,
Yeah, I'll
right
do that.
now and actually see the actual stats that they're putting up. Actually, Kristi Noem was actually very recently called out on that, right? Because she said it was like 70%, and literally, I think it was like Fox News was like, your own data doesn't say that. And she's like, I don't know what you're saying. It's literally less than 20% have any criminal record whatsoever, and less than 3% have any violent criminal record.
Okay.
So no, they're not going in and finding criminals and fucking deporting them. They are finding innocent people, okay? And they are torturing and harassing them. That's what they're doing.
Dude, they're doing what they're doing because the left is putting up like they're literally stopping people from enforcing the law. If you stop them from enforcing the law, they have to go in the streets and then they have to check everybody. And if they find a bunch of other people, they're going to take them.
Oh, that's so cute how you phrase that, and also really dumb.
No, it's not. It's like if you
Yes, it
get
is.
pulled over and you
Sir.
have a warrant and you're in the back seat, they're going to take you. That's how it is.
See, you think that they have to go in force because people are in there trying to stop them from doing their job. And that's not what's happening at all. What's actually happening is people are protesting because they're doing that. It's not the other way around, sir. Any group of people that has to argue, sir, any freaking law enforcement agency that argues in a court of law that they need to be able to racially profile people in order to do their job is not doing things constitutionally.
How's it racially so let me ask you this.
Sir. ICE in court.
If 100
Listen to me. ICE in court said it is necessary for us to racially profile in order to do our job. I'm not saying off of evidence or off of anything else. I'm saying that literally ICE said it themselves.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If 100 people break into your house and all of them are black, and you go and ask the court, say, hey, can I walk in and ask every black person in my house if they're supposed to be there or if they have a lease? You think you're not going to do that? I don't understand what you're saying. 20 million
sir,
people
if 100 black people
got led
broke,
into our country.
sir, that's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking
20
heard. But
million
no.
people from Latin America got rushed our country. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? It's 20 million
All right,
Latin
I'm muting
people.
you again. Apparently, you don't know how to fucking act like an adult. Sir, if 100 black people broke into my house and I walked in and I was like, well, there's also 100 white people, but I'm only going to ask the black people why they're there, then yes, that would be racial profiling. If 100 people broke into my house and they just all happen to be black, then that's not racial profiling, sir. That's just me asking everybody in my house. The qualifier then is that they're in my house, not their race. Okay. But if there's 200 people that broke into my house and 100 of them are black and I only asked the 100 what they're doing here, then that's racial profiling, sir. You see the difference?
Yeah. Have you ever seen what they do? It's not just their race. It's their race, how good they
ICE
speak English.
said it,
and they
sir.
don't just grab
Listen to
people.
the words that are coming out of my fucking mouth before I think that you are too stupid to have this argument with me. I am not arguing that ICE's policies are racial profiling. ICE is literally arguing that their own policies are racial profiling. I don't want to have an argument with you over whether it's racial profiling when literally ICE says that they are in fucking court when they were sued for racial profiling. They were literally sued for racial profile, like 4 months ago or something. I don't have the exact date. Go fucking grow up. Fucking look it up, dude. Literally, it was like 4 months ago. They were literally in court being sued for racial profiling. They didn't say we're not racial profiling. They said racial profiling is necessary for us to do our job.
No, profiling is necessary. Racial profiling.
They said racial Sir, please do not argue with me about a court case that you did not realize existed until 10 seconds ago.
You can't even quote it to me. You don't even know when it happened.
I literally just did.
You said
I literally, sir, I literally
that's not how quoting
just
works.
quoted it to you. I literally just did.
Saying that someone said something. No, you're not. Quoting is actually saying exactly what they said verbatim. That's quoting someone.
Oh my God, sir. All right. Well, you're obviously way too stupid to be talking to me. If
Wonderful.
if that's what you
Enjoy-
think, sir,
enjoy some.
if you literally think that freaking I memorized exactly the line out of it, and you're like, well, if you didn't memorize exactly the line out of it, not
I think
just
you
said what they
watched
said.
some
He might have put
propaganda and you're just
he might have
parroting
put
it.
a conjunction in there where it didn't fucking exist, so he's not quoting it. Then you're sad, dude.
I think you
Again,
watched some
again,
propaganda
being
and
on the
you're
left,
parroting it.
again, sir, being on the left and fucking winning, reminding me again that I'm on the left and I am winning because I am just not you.
Dude, we have every branch of government. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and still failing America.
But still failing. Dude, we're getting exactly what we wanted, and all of you are just crying about it
Right,
every
racial
day.
profiling, exactly what you wanted.
That's not what we want. We want people to come into.
Get off my live. Anyways, how are you going to argue a court case that literally you didn't know existed 10 seconds prior? You're like, oh, that court case didn't say that. That court case that I never heard of didn't say that. DHS versus Vasquez Perdomo. There we go. There we go. All right, y'all. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller and keep this thing going. Rebel, thank you so much for the GOAT trophy. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Naylin, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate that. I'm the problem. Thank you so much for the $10. And I'm sure he was turned away from a lot of colleges, all of them. That guy was turned away from every college ever. That's pretty simple. And most high schools. Rebel, thank you again for the GOAT trophy. I've seen so many of those. Thank you so much. Hellos, thank you so much for the happy poop. Doctor, thank you so much for the $2. Said last caller here. Love to have you on my show soon. Sure, why not? I'll go wherever. I don't care. Megs, thank you so much for the gifted. I appreciate that. Zazua, thank you so much for the jewels. Y'all, if y'all would like to support, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. Just like my name, I also have super chats and super stickers open, just like you've seen from me posting them up on the screen. We have conversations about those. I also have my live gift goal going up here. I have the DJ glasses. I'm trying to get to 20 over here. And more importantly, I'm trying to finish. This is the last thing I need to light up my gift gallery. So if I get somebody to send 5 of those, then I light up my gift gallery today. So if you'd like to help me light that up today, I'd really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We are going to move on to the next caller and keep this thing going.
It's insane.
And yeah, we're going to try to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm having a hard time getting this, getting Live Studio to let me pin things right now. I don't know why it's doing that. But we're going to keep this thing moving. Mark, thank you so much for the membership. I really appreciate that. Thank you for joining the team. Cool. Thank you so much for the high five. And yo, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. I said, keep it up, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, yo. That's very, very nice of you. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's keep this thing going to the next caller. As long as I got callers, we're going to keep this thing going. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm 13. I just want to say,
It's
fuck ICE and fuck
insane.
Donald Trump. Have a good night.
you too. Hello, how are you?
Hey, man, I just want to appreciate you a lot, man, for what you're doing and voicing your opinion and everything else like that. Speaking the facts, because a lot of these guys out here do not know what is going on. So I really appreciate you a lot, brother.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that, all right?
I appreciate you, man.
Have a good one.
Keep doing what you're doing.
All right.
You too.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. How old are you?
I'm about to be 23 in a week. Excuse me, that's my little brother.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Pardon?
Do you still support Trump?
Oh, I'm a leftist, but I have a relevant question.
All right. What's your relevant question?
Okay, well, I am a socialist. I identify as a socialist, and I'm also a pro-2A socialist. And I have a friend of mine who I support his choice to be against guns or whatever, and not be pro-gun. But at the present moment, he happens to live near the Capitol, and he's also a person of color. I don't know if, I mean, we know that they're racially profiling people out here, so that might be relevant. But I'm really concerned for his safety at this point because I know once they get towards the Capitol, I know they're out in the Midwest right now. I'm talking in reference to ICE, but I know once they get that way, it's going to be real dangerous for people out there, and I'd be worried about them. So I'm trying to find a way to promote or support his ability to be able to defend himself, but I'm having a hard time bridging that gap with him.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Like, how would you go about doing that? If you had a person who was adamantly against taking a defensive stance for themselves, like physically defending themselves, but, you know, they might be a person at risk, like a person of color or a minority of some sort, how would you go about doing that?
Yeah, first of all, the majority of people that own guns in the United States are more likely to have that gun used on them than they are to freaking actually defend themselves with it. So you let them be who they are and not try to force anything on them.
Right. I concede to that. Again, I concede to his choice to not do that type of thing. But again, I just be worried about him.
Yeah, well, you should be worried about your friend, but you should not be forcing them to freaking own a firearm or push firearm use or anything like that, especially on somebody who's not comfortable with them. That's crazy.
It's not that, but again, I just be worried is all.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you worrying about your friend, but yeah, that's definitely not the way to go. But I'm going to move on to the next caller. Hope you have a good one, all right?
All right, sir.
All right, we're going to keep this thing going. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just really don't know what the question is there. Like, if your friend doesn't want to own weapons, then you don't have them own weapons. Like, I don't know. I don't really know where the question is there. Like, you just don't do that. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
God, how old are you? Nope. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if you feel comfortable with weapons and you're, familiar with them and you feel like that's something that's, that's comfortable for you, then you do that. And if you don't do that, then I don't really know what to tell you. Like, I'm sorry. It's just kind of a weird thing for me because I don't know. Anyways, if you guys still support Trump, go ahead and join that request box or call in. This live has been very weird. I think that maybe me being on with Ari yesterday kind of screwed up my algorithm because I don't know what is going on over here. But that's okay. That happens from time to time. Dude, stop calling. You're a literal child. Holy crap. But that's okay. We're going to see if we can get another caller in or two. If not, that's okay too. That happens. Doobie, thank you so much for the $5 and ask him how he's going to feel when Trump brings over 600,000 Asian students and workers. Oh, that's okay. They won't mind that because Asians aren't brown people. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. Yeah, Asian dude. He literally brought over a Colombian a Colombian drug lord, and they defended it. I don't think they'll care. Hello, how are you?
Just fine. How are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
I'm 51.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, you talked in the past about him going to get Maduro. So you said it yourself a couple of days ago that Maduro is a piece of shit, but he shouldn't have went out and got him. Correct?
I think that he should have gotten congressional approval before he did any type of military action on a country like that personally. And I also believe that Donald Trump didn't do anything to help Venezuela because he just replaced one piece of shit with another piece of shit. So who cares?
Okay, so let's just say he went and got congressional approval.
Sure.
Do you think Maduro would have flew off to God knows where and just think of something, or what's that word that you just go away, or you go into hiding like Saddam Hussein did?
I don't know how getting congressional approval would have made him run.
Well, I mean, if he would have gotten, how long would it have taken him to get congressional approval?
He owns both houses of Congress, probably about an hour.
That's debatable because the Democratic
Maybe
Party
2
as of now
hours.
would like.
I don't know what to
No,
tell
it
you.
would have taken at least 3 months. At
Bullshit.
least. The way the
No.
Democratic Party, the way they are.
Literally the day of. Like literally the day of. It would no. There's no way it would have taken 5 hours.
Okay, so let's just say 5 hours. Okay, so if he would have gotten congressional approval and then went over there and got Maduro, you would have been happy with that.
If he replaced him with somebody that wasn't exactly Maduro, like which he didn't do.
Okay, you know the reason why?
Because of the oil.
No. The reason why they didn't go after the vice president, if that's who you're referring to.
Because of the oil.
No, it's because the United States had a bounty on him and not her.
No, it's
So
because
that's
of
why
the
they
oil.
didn't
They
go
could have
against
put
her.
anybody in, sir. When Maduro's gone, they could have put anybody in. The reason why they chose her is because of the oil.
It's insane.
But that's no.
No,
No,
the
that's
bounty is
debatable.
a reason to take him. It's not the reason to put the vice president in charge. The reason to put the vice president in charge is the oil.
So if they would have gotten after Maduro and got him, and then also replaced her, you don't think the Democratic Party would be bitching about them taking her also, and then doing whatever they did?
I think if the Trump administration, well, I mean, people are going to find a way to bitch regardless, but I think if the Trump administration had gained congressional approval, done the act, replaced the regime with an actual democratic regime that actually would have supported the actual people of Venezuela, then I don't have much of a huge issue with it. As long as the United States then removed themselves, allowed the oil to go, then the proceeds of that oil to go back to the people of Venezuela where it belongs, then I don't really know how you bitch too bad, to be completely honest with you.
And then another thing is, if you didn't go after Maduro like he did, and then they would have, and he was getting backlash from Brazil, Guatemala, Cuba, and all these other countries, they didn't. Do you think that they had any power to remove him from power?
I'm sorry, what?
No, after Trump took Maduro and put the vice president in charge, there was backlash from Brazil, Cuba, and all these other.
Is this just some like weird like hypothetical game? Because I'm kind of bored with playing war games.
Because I'm trying. The point I'm trying to get is, no matter what Trump would have done, there was always you. And
I already gave you an example of something Trump would have done that would have been freaking hard to argue against. I already gave you the example.
Would have been bitching, no matter what.
Sir, someone's always going to be fucking bitching. Is that your qualification for whether something is good or not? On whether somebody bitches or not? Because I'm just like to let you know, you've probably had a really rough life, and you're probably going to have a real rough life going forward if your freaking argument to whether something is good or bad is whether somebody complains. Because somebody is always going to complain about everything.
And plus, the reason, and you said he did it for the oil. Okay, he go win for the oil, just like he did with Greenland. He is going for the land, for the rare earth. Just like he wants, most likely, he's going to do it in 2026 about freeing Cuba from their leader. He's trying to get the Western Hemisphere to be more defensive in case Russia and Vladimir Putin or China or
we already have a treaty with Greenland to literally put as many military bases on Greenland as we want.
But yeah, Putin decides to bomb it for whatever fucking reason. Do you think Denmark has the capability of defending it?
Sir, we, during a 1951 treaty, have the ability to put as many military bases on Greenland as we want. 100, 200, 1,000, does not matter. We literally, before Trump ever took office, 1951, right? Like Trump was in diapers. Since then, we've had a treaty to be able to put as many military bases on Greenland as we want. So none of this is necessary for our ability to defend Greenland or to defend the Western Hemisphere from Greenland.
So you're okay. Well, it's awful hypothetical. You don't think Putin or Kim Jong or the leader from China will ever think about invading Greenland?
Sir,
You have no fear that's going to happen.
Did you not hear what I just said? If we have a fear of them invading Greenland, then we can just put bases on Greenland. We can put a 100,000 troops on Greenland. We can put 1,000 military bases. We can put freaking missiles. We can put planes. We can put naval bases. We can put whatever the fuck we want on Greenland. And we always could. So if that's the fear of invasion of Greenland, we can defend Greenland and the Western Hemisphere without doing any of the shit that Donald Trump is going to do. Not to mention the fact that Greenland is a territory of Denmark. So therefore, if Russia or China ever attacked them, it would literally be the same as them attacking the American homeland. Like, it'd be like the same as them attacking California or North Carolina. It would literally, or London, it would be the exact same effect. Every single country in NATO would have to attack them back. So no, they weren't going to do that.
Okay, so is Poland part of the NATO?
Is Poland part of NATO? Yes.
Okay, so Ukraine wanted to be part of NATO from what the rhetoric was told, and that's the reason why Putin invaded Ukraine. I think they invaded Ukraine so they can take the land for rare earth, just like we're trying to do with Greenland. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree, I guess.
Do you think that we should be giving money to Ukraine to help fight Russia?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're our ally and they have sovereignty?
No. Ukraine is not part of NATO.
Doesn't matter. Do you think our only allies on the planet are the ones that are part of NATO?
That we really give a shit about?
You don't think we give a shit about Japan? You don't think we give a shit about North Korea or South Korea or Australia? Because those are all some of our biggest allies on this planet, and none of them are part of NATO.
But do we import or export anything to Ukraine?
Sir, that wasn't the question. You said, why should we do it? Because they're our ally and they have sovereignty. You said they're not part of NATO. Then I responded with showing a whole bunch of other countries that are allies that are not part of NATO.
Yeah, but
again, sir, my question to you was, do you not understand that we have allies that aren't part of NATO?
Yes, but the reason why we should not support Ukraine is because they're not anything. They don't have anything. Well, they have something that we want, but that was the reason for the whole peace agreement that Trump is trying to go after between Zelensky
England
and
also,
Putin.
do the UK also doesn't have anything that we fucking want. They're still our ally. Like, sir, having something we don't create alliances based off of, do you have something we can steal from you? What are you talking about, sir? All of our alliances, like, we don't make alliances based off of, hey, do you have anything that we can steal from you later on? Do you have oil or natural resources that we can rob from you if you ever get attacked or we make an agreement with you? We have alliances based off of, like, mutually assured security agreements, right? Collective security agreements, right? Like, it's not just about it's not all transactional, okay? Like, it's not all a transaction, like, what can we steal from you when it comes to X, Y, and Z, sir? Our ability to defend the European continent keeps Russia at bay, and keeping Russia at bay stops them from freaking gaining ground, mobilizing, which keeps us out of World War III. That's why we do it.
Interesting.
That's why things like NATO are important, right? Donald Trump seems to think that NATO is only important if NATO is paying a certain percentage of money, right, towards like NATO. That's not the reason why NATO is important. NATO is a collective freaking defense agreement. That's why it's important, right? Like because of that whole idea of Russia invading Greenland and all of us attacking. Okay, but we send tons of money to Israel. They're not part of NATO, right? They have no natural resources that we need, but we still do it, right? Why do we do it? Well, sometimes I really question that. But why on paper do we do it? Because of the strategic advantage it gives us towards the Middle East as far as, like war power assets go, right? Like on paper, that's why we do it, right? What do you think is a very strategic place for, Russian to be able to attack Russia if we need it? Ukraine is. And like you just said, they're rich in natural resources. So if we ever did go to war with Russia for whatever reason, right? Not saying that we should, but if we ever did, I think it'd be pretty important to have a base that sits right on their border with all the natural resources, don't you think?
True. But I don't think, I know we spent over $130 billion and gave it to Ukraine, but we have nothing to show for it. They still haven't won the war. They did nothing to even think about except for time. So I don't know why we still are supporting Ukraine when eventually the shit's going to hit the fan and Russia's going to eventually take over Ukraine.
Yeah. So
But
first of all,
I digress.
First of all, we haven't given that much money to Ukraine. We've given that much in resources to Ukraine for sure. All right. We've only given about, the last numbers I saw was like 65 billion in actual cash or something like that.
That's not too much.
No, not at all. Because what my second point was that you said we got nothing from it. And that's also incorrect. We actually get a shit ton from it. Right. So few things that we get from it. One, we show our allies that when we make an alliance with a country that we actually stand by it. Right. So that's important. If we make an alliance with Ukraine, we say we're going to stand by this defense alliance with Ukraine, and then we back out of that, then what gives South Korea or Japan or any of our NATO allies or Australia or Israel, what gives any of those countries a reason to believe us that we'll stand up for them if they're attacked when our alliance is with them, if we don't stand up for our alliances with Ukraine after we've had one, like especially considering things like the Budapest Memorandum, and there have actually been multiple other agreements with Ukraine that we've had as far as defense, right? So that's number one, is just, how old did you say you were?
I'm 51.
Yeah. So if somebody says they're going to, let me borrow, $50 from you, and you give it to them and they never pay you back, are you going to borrow $50 from them again? Of course not, right? Because they lost their trust, right? They've shown that they're, that they're not a reliable borrower from you. So you're probably not going to borrow it from them again. Well, that's how it works with our alliances too. If we don't have, if we don't hold up to our alliances, then we have no credibility with the rest of our alliances, and therefore our alliances have no will to protect us also from that other way. And especially when you're dealing with countries like China, North Korea, stuff like that, it's very important to have those alliances with countries like, again, like Australia, like Japan, like South Korea, like our big alliances in the Pacific, right? Second of all, Russia, even though Donald Trump pretends like that it doesn't exist, is still a threat, right? They're still one of the threats that we have in the United States. They are a threat to the United States. Vladimir Putin has been very specific about them being a threat to the United States. And we are continually depleting their military, right? And the longer this war goes on, the more soldiers they're losing, the more tanks they're losing, the more planes they're losing, the more artillery they're losing. And so that's going to be longer and longer and longer that it takes for them to build that up later. So we're actually gaining a strategic advantage just by them just fighting the war still. Like just that. On top of all of that, we're gaining a lot of intelligence on how Russia fights war. Like I will tell you that, like even the United States intelligence, right, said that this war wasn't going to last 2 weeks, right? That was like the first estimates. Russia's going to walk over Ukraine in 2 weeks. Over 2 years later, they're still fighting, right? Russia couldn't do it, right? So we're gaining like valuable intelligence on exactly like what their capabilities are as a country, and we're getting ready to use a bunch of our old weapons, and we're allowing Ukraine to use a bunch of our old weapons in order to fire off like at Russia and see how they react. So now we're also seeing how our weapons are like which ones are more, like critical against Russian assets, right? We're seeing a whole bunch of drone stuff, seeing how our weapons and our defensive systems that we've given to Ukraine are working against sometimes handmade drones, right? We're learning so much about our own weaponry, about our own intelligence, about all of our things, right? Without a single U.S. life, American life being put at risk, right? Without and I know that like $65 billion, it sounds like a whole bunch, right? But in the US budget, it's like fucking nothing, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot as a number, as a whole, but in the US budget, in like the grand scheme of things for the US, the amount of money we've given Ukraine is like negligible. I think it's something like 3 to 4% of the US defense budget. Not like the budget as a whole, like just the defense budget. It's like 3 to 5%.
Interesting. Okay, one more question, and then I digress to the next subject. Do you think that Putin will go down as the new Hitler?
No.
You don't think Russia's or Putin will go down as the next Hitler?
No.
Why not?
I don't think
because all those soldiers, I mean, like, even though he's actually killing his own people when they're going to war, and you don't think all those thousands of people that, I know it's not like the Jews, 2.6 million Jews or even more than that, I don't know the exact amount that Jews died in the Holocaust, but he's coming pretty close to being the next Hitler.
Sir, the history definitely recognizes the difference between sending people to a war, even if it's an ill-fought or, like a bad war, right? Like sending people to war and sending people to death camps are two very, very different things. I mean, by that, well, that's exactly what I was about to bring up, sir. Like that's like you read my mind, actually. Like by that same thought process, every president that served while we were in Vietnam would also be the next Hitler, right? As we sent troops to their death to fight in a guerrilla war for an unjustified war, right? But that's not how we see, that's not how we look at life, right? I mean, I believe there was way more troops that died in Vietnam than there were, Jews that were executed in death camps. So when like we understand that even if it's an ill ideal war, I mean, how many people lost in or maybe there's probably less. I don't know how many people died in Vietnam. Actually, I just realized that.
I think there's over 50,000.
Yeah, so there was much less. I'm sorry, there was much less. I said the other way around. There's much less people that died, but it's still like the people that we lost in Vietnam is probably going to be pretty comparable to the people lost in Russia. I apologize. I said more people died in Vietnam than the Holocaust. I meant that the other way around. I apologize. Excuse my language on that. But regardless, of course, many more people lost in the Holocaust or died in the Holocaust. But regardless, I meant to say more people died in Vietnam than will die in the Russian war. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, you caught me off guard there. But regardless, it's not going to. Yeah, it's not. It's not going to be viewed on the same thing.
Okay. Now, next subject is. I like Trump because he created Doge. Now, I know Doge is going to end or has ended supposedly already, but even though nothing has or will come about being or trying to get the money or what little money we can get back, I am grateful that Trump created Doge to create to the American people that the amount of fraud that's happening in the United States, how many people are ripping us off simply because they just can.
Yeah. So can you please tell me one episode of fraud that was actually brought through an indictment through a court to prove that fraud was happening?
Well, there hasn't been a court case.
So if there's all this fraud that's happening, then why hasn't there been a court case?
Because Doge is just not an actual department and they can't enforce any laws.
But the Justice Department can. Donald Trump is in charge of the Justice Department. And if Doge had uncovered fraud, that's all the evidence you need in order to prosecute someone for fraud. So where's the fraud?
well, you can say there's no fraud, but all the evidence that you showed during the Social Security, all those the tens of million people that supposedly be about like 125 years old still getting a Social Security check.
Yeah, that was very easily debunked, sir. Yeah, the people that they were referring to in that had the system that runs Social Security had a certain code that you put in when somebody passed away, right? And that code reverted back to a certain year. That's reverted the date back to a certain year, and none of those people were receiving checks. It just had people in there that were in the Social Security system that were back there, but those people weren't receiving checks, sir. And there was already a system in place for people that were receiving fraudulent, like, Social Security checks after they had already passed, and those people, there was already a system in place to stop them, and it was already working perfectly fine.
So, the United States covers or has or supports take this as a grain of salt, but they have 100,000 NGOs that they support supposedly, and they take up about $300 billion. Does the United States really need 100,000 NGOs, or investigate some of the NGOs that just to make sure that they're actually legit and they're helping out America?
Well, again, sir, we
a lot of money.
Well, again, sir, we did have investigative agencies that actually do inspect these NGOs. Donald Trump got rid of all those. So did Elon Musk, right? And do we need 100,000? No, I think we could use a lot fewer, but probably a lot bigger NGOs that are actually working on a whole bunch of things. But how many we need is not really important, sir. It's whether those things are, committing fraud. And so far, the only person we have committing fraud is Donald Trump, who was convicted of it.
Okay.
I mean, he defrauded a children's cancer charity for $400 million.
Well, that was before, supposedly he did that before he was president.
Oh, so that makes it better.
Just like all the affairs that he's had, that wasn't during his presidency.
Oh, well, if he robbed $400 million from children with cancer and it only happened before his presidency, then I guess that makes it okay.
And all the rape charges that was against him, that's just based on hearsay. There was no physical evidence. There's no DNA evidence.
There was actually both.
It was from 1974.
1991, I believe.
That he lost. But anyway.
It was 1991, and there was physical evidence and DNA evidence. Actually, the one DNA evidence that they had, actually Donald Trump refused to actually give his DNA for that until after the discovery phase was already over. And then once he did give it, then they actually figured out it was his. So, yeah.
Congratulations. Okay. So, in order to in order to lower the national debt, you have to do two things. What are they?
Increase taxes, reduce spending?
Correct. So how do we do that without hurting? If you're going to, cut spending is going to be a motherfucker, especially with Congress. Raising taxes is easy for them. Everybody will raise taxes on the American people quicker than a pig will fart. So how do you tax the American people without hurting the middle class?
It's easy. You tax the rich.
The rich can't always bail us out.
Yeah, they can. They literally pay. Jeff Bezos pays less in taxes than I do.
He has a smaller tax rate, but he still pays more.
That's no, he pays less money. No, I'm not talking about fucking a lower tax rate. He pays literally physical dollar on dollar less taxes than I do. That is an issue, sir.
Does he give himself $1 a year? That's the reason why he pays less in taxes.
There's a bunch of tax loopholes in which they are able to hide their assets in order for them to not do that. Not to mention charitable contributions and all the other things that they do in order to freaking hide their tax money, right? But when it should not matter why the reason is, sir. If there is a reason why Jeff Bezos pays less in taxes than I do, Okay. The reason why that happens is very, 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 very unimportant.
Okay. So Elon Musk is the richest man on the planet, right? He has what, $413 billion
Yeah, I guess something like that.
supposedly. Okay. If he paid the 37%, because if you make over $500,000 a year, you're at the highest tax rate, right?
Dude, I don't know. What's your point? That you said, how do we do that without the
Okay.
expense of the rich? It's easy. Or expense of the middle class. You tax the rich, you give those benefits to the middle class, you reduce spending. It's not a difficult thing. Which is exactly the opposite that Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is reducing taxes for the rich. Okay. Adding tariffs,
Okay.
which are a majority tax on the middle class, and increasing spending. We're spending more like that. We're at a record rate of spending in the United States right now.
Okay. That's debatable.
It's not.
But, okay, even though the tariffs, they will hurt the middle class no matter what. Even if we gave them 0% tariffs, or if we gave 0 tariffs on both countries, or if they just give us tariffs, no matter what, the tariffs is bad for the American consumer. So there's no win-win situation about it with the tariffs.
But
So no matter, you
proportionally,
gotta pick up the left
freaking tariffs hurt people that make less money more than they affect people that make more money.
Well, you're not buying a TV every other week, are you? I mean, that's
What are you talking about, sir? Freaking tariffs affect bananas.
true, but a TV is more expensive than bananas, correct?
But bananas are bought more. Right? If you
But
everything
you
you
eat
buy at the
bananas
sir, if
and they
everything you
cost
buy
more.
on the grocery store, if everything you buy at the grocery store is affected by tariff, then the amount of money that is added by the tariffs affects people more depending on how much money you make, right? If you make $20,000 a year and your banana price goes from $1.50 to $2, right? If you make good money, that probably means nothing. If you are poor, that affects you imminently, right?
Okay.
So, and then you add that across all groceries, right? If you make $20,000 a year and your grocery bill goes from $150 to $250, that could be life threatening, right? Like that could be whether you get gas or can pay your rent. If you're in the middle class, it affects you, right, over the long term. And if you're super rich, you probably didn't even notice.
If Elon Musk was to pay the 37%, the highest tax rate, like every other American would have if they if they hit the lottery, he would have to pay $152.8 billion. Do you think that's really going to affect him?
No. So that's a great reason why he should pay it.
But $152
Exactly,
billion, that's not gonna last.
sir.
That's not going to do shit. Because we spend $1.7 trillion.
Did you say 157?
on HHS.
Did you say $157 billion?
$152,810,000,000.
That's more than we've spent on Ukraine since the war started.
And we spend $1.7 trillion on HHS. So you don't think $1.7 trillion on HHS?
We do not spend
is
$1.7 trillion on
too cheap?
HHS.
Look it up. It's on the Doge.com or Doge.gov.
Doge doesn't even exist anymore. They're
And-
disbanded.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is we have people in Congress who don't know how to quit writing checks that their ass cannot cash. But until we fire everybody, Republicans and Democrats, who can't stop writing checks that their ass cannot cash,
I guess it is
we're gonna be in
1.7
the
trillion.
same situation.
I was wrong. Yes, it is.
Now, the question is,
My bad.
last government shutdown, they wanted 1.5 trillion. Now, if 2024 was 1.7,
Oh,
would
I
it only
didn't
cost
realize that
200?
Medicare and Medicaid fell under HHS. That was on me. I'm blanking. It's a Friday. I'm not supposed to be on.
So
That's on me.
if 1.7
bad.
trillion, okay, 1.7 trillion funds HHS, but they wanted 1.5. So you're trying to tell me that $200 billion only could operate the HHS, or was they wanting
Sure,
another?
I wish we would
additional
send $3 trillion on
1.5 trillion?
HHS. I wish we would spend $3 trillion in HHS. I don't give a shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And how do you expect to pay for it?
Yeah, easy. Freaking audit the Defense Department.
Well, that's not the only place you have to
The
audit.
defense budget
You
has
have to-
gone up every single year. The defense budget is almost $1 trillion, and they haven't passed an audit in like what, fucking 2 decades?
8 years. 8 years.
8 years?
Because this is,
Yeah. How about we
yeah.
get rid of
Because
them?
that's-
How about we get rid of the freaking gross government spending when it comes to all sorts of shit? How about we raise the freaking tax rate on the rich? We can do all of those things and then use things like Health and Human Services, which actually goes back to the people, and actually raise that.
I agree. Well,
How about we
if
we
you're
get
gonna
rid of
have to
ICE?
exclude the rich?
How much is ICE
okay.
ICE costing us a year? Let's get rid of that. We can probably raise it right there. How
Okay,
much
and I think
is the
ICE agency,
ICE budget?
what is their main? I mean, what is their
2025. Let's
main-
see. I'm curious.
Homeland Security. It's
Why
like
is it
87
taking so
billion.
long? Oh, it's taking forever.
Anyway, if you're gonna go after the rich, Nancy Pelosi's not gonna like it because she's rich. She's worth her net worth is
Why do you think I
$200
give a
million.
fuck
Are you
about
gonna
Nancy
heck her?
Pelosi?
Well, when she first started Congress, she was only worth $245,000.
Sir,
but now
her
she's worth $200
husband
million.
is a literal venture
Oh my
capitalist
God.
base
Sure.
venture capitalist.
How did he get
Sir,
that rich?
sir,
It's through
be-
her.
No, sir. I need you to be like so clear when I say this. I don't give a fuck about Nancy Pelosi. Okay? Tax her.
So,
Send
you
her
don't
to
care if
jail.
she
Sir,
resigns?
I need you to listen to me, okay?
Sir. Okay, sir.
Tax
sir.
her. Send her to jail. I couldn't give a flying fuck. Okay?
Okay, so you're 40, right?
About to be.
Okay. So if you think you're so good at what you do, and you have all the answers, maybe not all the answers, why don't you run for Senate? Why don't you run for governor or president? Since you're of age, if you think you have a better policy and can run this country better than he can, run. Instead of sitting here on your ass, bitching and moaning and groaning, Trump hating, and creating gaslighting everybody who calls in.
Sir,
Be part of the solution, not the problem.
So let me be very clear. I could run this country better than Trump. No questions asked. Okay?
Then do
So could that 5-year-old that was kidnapped today. Or
No,
this week,
so you have
okay?
to be at least
So
40.
I don't care. We're not talking about whether you're legally allowed to. That 5-year-old that was kidnapped by ICE could run this country better than Trump, okay? So you putting the bar at doing better than Trump, the bar is literally on the fucking ground. It might actually be buried.
Okay, be better than Obama.
But maybe I will run for Congress one day. Maybe I will. But until then, what I can
No,
do
do
is,
it now. Do it
sir,
now. You got
sir,
time.
I am talking. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm responding to what you're saying, so please be quiet. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe one day I will run for Congress, and God help all of you if I do, because I'm not some fucking politician. I'll tell you straight to your fucking face exactly what the fuck is going on. Okay? So God help you if I do. But until then, sir, I just like supporting actual good politicians, while you like supporting bad ones. Okay? So
Well,
I'm going to
I like
continue to support freaking politicians that actually support America, that support the people of America, that support the rule of law, that support the Constitution, that support democracy. And you can keep supporting freaking autocrats who try to implement fascism. Sound good?
Oh, we'll see about that.
Yep,
So-
we will. All right, y'all. Well, I am going to call it a night. And I'll be back on tomorrow. We'll see what's going on tomorrow. But I'll be back on tomorrow. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Oh, sorry, I have a super chat or two to go through, don't I? Luis, thank you so much for the $10. Said here in PR we have the same problem with ICE and the racial profile. Our government supply them with all data for driver's license so they can find everyone. That's wild. How do you racial profiling in Puerto Rico must be like completely different from racial profiling here. I'd love to talk to you about that. That actually makes me very curious. That's actually crazy. And Joe Dirt, thank you so much for the $2. Says Doge fraud is with Trump. Also, Luis, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Before we get out of here, can we give a big W's in the chat for Luis for the 10 gifteds? Puerto Rico in the house. Can I get a Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico! Let's get it in the house. Luis has been a huge supporter today. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Luis. You've been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. I will be back on tomorrow. I don't know what time. I have to go shopping tomorrow. I need clothes and stuff and blah, blah, blah. I have to go buy clothes tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at some time, probably in the evening. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. All right. See you guys later. Bye.